Welcome to our Road Trip Nation. Today we're interviewing
Larandust Coleman.
and tell us what you do for Ole Miss.
I'm the senior assistant athletic trainer for football.
Okay, we're going to ask you kind of a few questions that got you to this point in your life, starting with Abby over here.
All right. So where were you when you were our age, and how did you get from there to where you are today?
I went to the University of West Alabama for undergraduate. From there, I interned with the Carolina Panthers. From there, I wanted to pursue higher education, so I did a full year with the Panthers, and then I came to the University of Mississippi for graduate school, and then from graduate school, I got hired on here.
Awesome.
When you were growing up, did you have any interests that you've built into your work?
I always wanted to stay around the sporting environment. That was kind of, sports has always been a staple in my life. I was going into medicine. I knew that for sure. Didn't have much of a clue what athletic trainers were, but kind of got into the program through some friends, and here we are today.
Now on this journey, did you ever feel lost and where you wanted to ultimately go?
Oh, definitely. My freshman year, if I could have found any other job to do or what I wanted to do in life besides athletic training, I probably would have switched. And then my sophomore year, I got an internship with an NFL team. Then after my junior year, I did the same. And it started to come together then. But until my freshman year, I was kind of weighing, do I want to go physical therapist, right? Do I want to be an athletic trainer? Where do I want to go in life?
When was the light bulb moment for you? When did you really realize this is what you wanted to do?
Probably my junior year. Things were clicking. I was able to relate to athletes. We can talk, we can work together. This brought both worlds together, sports and medicine, and that's where it's like, this is me.
Was there ever pressures from society telling you you needed to be something else? And if so, how did you overcome those kind of challenges?
Well, starting out, athletic trainers aren't going to be people that's going to make $70,000, $80,000 starting out. Yes, there was pressures. My sister was leading in a pharmaceutical sales job. She led an area. She wanted me to come work for her when I graduated from graduate school. But I spent so much time in this field, I wanted to actually do it. So I said no to that.
What obstacles have you overcome to get where you are today?
Well, traditionally, there aren't very many African Americans in athletic training. You're seen as the minority. So I think that's an obstacle. Working at a university here at Ole Miss, just the time management, that's a big deal. You have to be able to balance work life and real life.
What have been the keys to achieving the level of excellence that you've reached in your life?
Consistency. You have to be the same person day in, day out. You have to be willing to tell the truth. You have to have compassion.
I can imagine you being incredibly busy. So how do you really manage that personal and then the more work side of your life?
I have a life rule: work stays at work. If I do have to handle some things at home, it's very short-lived. I don't do a whole lot of it. But work stays at work and home is home. You have to know when to cut it off.
As you look back on your first 10 years after college, what would you do differently, like starting out?
I would probably, first years out of college, probably networked a little bit more. You can never have too many friends in the field, but I think it's grown over the years. I would have probably explored like different outlets, like overseas, some athletic training. So,
I gotcha.
but those might be some of the.
Okay.
How would you describe a day in the life of your job?
Unexpected. You live in the unexpected land. Like from 6:30 when we start till 7 o'clock, you can have a pretty normal day with all the guys that get injured come in and we rehab, or you can have somebody who fell off the back of a truck going to class and you have a totally blown schedule where you have to get this person to the doctor you just never know what to expect. And that's kind of part of the reason I'm in it. I kind of liked it not knowing, working under pressure type situation.
What skills must someone absolutely have to succeed in your field?
You have to be a good communicator. You have to be trustworthy. You have to have integrity. Skill-wise, you have to be really good with your hands. I would think you can't be a person who gets freaked out over the small things. You have to be able to accept things with a grain of salt and move past them.
How did you acquire the necessary skills and knowledge for your field?
Well, even though University of West Alabama was a small Division II school, working at that university, we basically had nothing. So you had to think outside of the box to do things. You didn't have money to go out and buy these big equipment, to spend on all these elaborate braces. So you had to learn outside of the box what some other things I could do to treat these athletes to keep them going and as safe as possible. So I think along at West Alabama kind of started my journey, and starting at a place where you didn't have much, and then now coming to a place where basically if we wanted to, we could buy it. You know, it makes me appreciate the places where I had to work a little bit harder and had to think about it. So it just brings that with you. Instead of just saying, hey, I want to buy this, let's think outside the box and what we can do.
For that person out there who's aspiring to be you and obtain that type of job position, do you suggest that they follow in your footsteps?
You know, everybody has to make their own path. A lot of people want to come to Ole Miss, want to be an athletic trainer. Now it's a little bit difficult to go the journey I went, because they're turning all the athletic training programs into a master level program. So you would have to go to an undergraduate and then get your master level degree in athletic training before you can go undergrad and then be able to sit for your national certification test. Now you have to go undergrad, then graduate school to be able to sit for your national certification test.
Okay. If you had one piece of advice to give to young people about to go into the real world, what would it be?
Be patient.
Patience.
Yeah, be patient. You can't live like your parents. It took them a while to get there right now.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
You're welcome, Abby.
Ready, set, go.
Tomorrow, I'm supposed to get on the bike. I rode 2 hours on the bike yesterday. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a speed workout on the bike. I did a 30-minute ride over on their bikes. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a speed workout where I go as hard as I can to my own. You know, I mean, Brett's thing on that, and I asked him about that. I did that now, he told me to stay off of it. But that was before I tried these shows. But he said, the only thing about the exception is that he didn't think you get the motion fast enough.
All right.
And that's how you get
44
taped,
seconds.
You can't get the RPM